Hello, I came back from Comics and Games in Federal Way. Yes, I am standing outdoors with socks on, and I read comic books with gloves on because I don't mess around. These were a nice gift, as I can actually work my smartphone with them. My replacement phone. I recently lost my the phone I'd been using, and you may have seen some of the camera work that was capable of in the past. Yeah. And it was terrible. This takes very good still photos. Looks very promising. For video. Anyway, after following Captain Cummings, Diversity in Comics, and those guys, the way they flip through comic books and discuss the state of the industry, I thought, hey, why don't I look at a local shop and check out Street Fighters vs. Darkstalkers, because I just found out, hey, they are carrying it somewhere in my town. There were two covers for number 4, which was all they had from this. And one was just Gil from Street Fighter 3. I'm very excited we're heading back into that direction in the storytelling. And then in front of him, lower on the page, was Jeddah from Darkstalkers 3. And just red skulls, blue skulls. This is actually the cover I prefer. It features 3 Darkstalkers and 3 Street Fighters in their Midnight Bliss forms. No, it's not just because it has a bunch of fetishy ladies on it. It's actually because I actually prefer it because it refers to something relevant within Darkstalkers to make it distinct and unique. Midnight Bliss is a lot like what it sounds like. The vampire, Dmitry Maximoff, transforms transforms his opponent into an always female, but more attractive to his tastes form. This is Vega, the Spanish bullfighter from Street Fighter 2. Akuma. Vega's just loving this, and Akuma's just hating this. He is so pissed. Akuma is from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There's M. Bison, just being M. Bison. There's Lord Raptor from the original Darkstalkers, looking like, this weirdness is so Tuesday for me. There's Albath Rikuo in the English language release. That name confused me too. Bright, happy, optimistic. Didn't he have a top in this form in the games when that was done to him? And then over here's where it gets really interesting. That is the Cursed Samurai Bishamon's Midnight Bliss form. The way so much of Riko's body is to the left of this, and Bishamon is just beginning, implies that this was supposed to be a bunch of images stacked together, side by side. The reason I wanted to focus on this is I saw those huge stacks of Secret Empire. Marvel is not selling. Definitely not selling. The store owner said they were having no problem, but those were some huge fat stacks. I have seen thinner encyclopedias than those stacks. Also, Darkstalkers. I want to try to do recipes based off of them, but I'm obviously not getting to that very efficiently. I have a Midnight Bliss drink I'm trying to stitch together a video about. I should probably just do written articles for that, since WordPress is my primary site. These are all just supposed to be embedded on WordPress. So let's begin. I have not actually read this before, so I'll be discovering it with you. It's the prelude story, Predator and Prey. And in the future, I'll be doing a bunch of scans. It's just I have to get Photoshop set up and scan them in through my printer, and I'm having trouble with both. Okay, this is looking rather different than the mythology I'm used to. Massive war to upseat power. That's typically attributed to the vampire Dmitry Maximov. Right now we're getting Jeddah Doma, the strange fluid life form that typically walks like a man. Jeddah just thought that keeping the status quo would lead to decay, so he wanted to start everything over. Being unhappy about living under the Anne's lands, that's definitely more like Dmitri. He tried to overthrow the ruler of the Makai, Belial Anne's land. Yeah, this is very different, and that's Belial? He looks nothing like Belial. Belial's a four-armed guy who considers himself and the Makai, the demon realm, one and the same, such as his power. Anne's eyes. And, oh, hey, that looks more like it. Still, where are the other... Oh, yeah, they're folded up right there. Okay, this is honestly getting good. Still, Street Fighter and Darkstalkers are both 2D fighters, and this guy does not work at all as a 2D fighter, boss. He is just too overpowered. Okay, right here it mentions Ozum, the guy who betrayed Jeddah in the games. In the Darkstalkers games, it's called Vampire in Japan. Yeah, and he gets set up to fail again. Ozum sought to usurp my position and gave me a forgery. Actually, Ozum is a gourmet, and he's the one who commands this rocker chick, the rock and roll heavy metal zombie. If you saw that movie Trick or Treat from the mid-'80s, the monster from that movie is actually a lot like Lord Raptor. It's just being illustrated and then animated through sprites allowed the creators to really let themselves go. Once again, being destroyed somehow does not kill him, even in his own backstory. I cannot tell if that's... Excuse you! If that's just, typical monster movie, death is meaningless, everyone's used to it. Or if everyone was just, or if that's just part of the weird physiology in this world. I don't really like what I'm seeing here so far. This stuff feels very alien to Darkstalkers, yet I feel like I've seen it so many times before. And Jedda's power was so great that he created this Majigan in the games. Excuse me this time. And, you know, he did wholly of his own making. He didn't just reshape something. I have no idea how he made it, but if he didn't just reshape something else, I guess that clears up a plot hole, but alright, so that time in exile was not a waste. It granted me clarity. With so much time introspecting, I realized the errors of my past. Returning to the demon realm, I no longer wanted to rule it, but to grant the souls within a final and lasting peace. Wanted to grant it to all realms. Okay, Jeddah is back to Crazy Town. Good for him. We like Crazy Jeddah. And oh my god, it is the fetus of God. Oh my fetal horror, it is the fetus of God. Yeah, that is what it's called. That is his boss stage. That is the creature, the force he will use to combine all souls. But here's the difference this time. He just wanted to extend this throughout the demon realm. And he only did it to the human realm because he saw the future ruler of the human realm, probably the little girl Anita. Look up the Darkstalkers wiki. She's basically a fighting game version of Wednesday Addams. He saw that she would one day be a threat and decided to deal with Earth before she could get there. But here is where all the changes make sense. He is working with the Illuminati. Yes, Street Fighter has one of those. Gil is the leader of the Illuminati. Okay, it's, I knew I had found the key to bringing my child to life in Street Fighter Unlimited number 11. So I gotta look for that. And they're both nuts. That's what you call peace. Gil. And here's where we're going to be in part 2. Hey, look. Chun-Li's in her alternate.